who are trying to log in, but they can't because it's limited to 100 people.
Okay, so yeah, I think James is taking note of that. So I want to believe he's recording. Was usually, let me see.
Yes, I'm recording.
Yeah, he's recording. So all is well. All right, I'm seeing Collie is asking which question paper is this. So this is July 20. This is December 2020, right? So it's the one that was written, I think, last intake. So basically, that is this is how your question paper will be like. So it is out of 25, right? It is out of 25, and each and every question is what is it's got 4 marks. It has got a weight of 4 marks. Okay. I'm not so sure. There's another person who's raising up there, and you can unmute yourself and ask if possible.
Sorry, Kuda, tell me, is it possible to increase the number of people that can join?
James,
Sorry,
can you attend?
it is not.
You can answer. Okay.
It is not possible.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, so I think we can go ahead. All right, so normally I think some of the tutors want to believe that they were also part of the business mathematics class that we were doing. So normally what I do is when we do these things, I scribble right on the screen also, so that you can have an idea of how these things are done. So let's start with number 1, right? So number 1 is saying 12 plus 4 times 8 minus 6 is equals to. So what you need to know, all right, what you need to understand, right, is mathematics is based on what? Is based on principles, right? It's based on mathematical principles and some formulas, right? So if you go and check in your study guide, you come to find out that there's a section on what they call mathematical operations, where they are just teaching you how you attempt, or how do you do certain mathematical expression that involves certain mathematical operations, right? So what for this type of what? For this type of math, you use a principle called BODMAS, or what they call BOMDAS, right? But I think in your course, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think you use BOMDAS. It's just the same, right? The principle is just the same. But let me just stick to one so that you guys you won't be confused. So BOMDAS, what it means, B, it represents brackets, right? Because remember, there are various signs, mathematical operations. It was their parentheses. Okay, my pen can't write. Okay, sorry, let me change the. All right, so there are parentheses, which are brackets, right? Then O is off. Off, it means times. Then M is multiplication, which is times, right? Then D is division, which is this sign. Then A is addition, which is plus. S is subtraction, which is minus. So basically, what BOM does mean is when you are given a mathematical expression, you need to check if they are brackets, right? If they are brackets, you express the terms within the brackets first. Then after you have expressed the terms that are in brackets, you look if there is an off. That is the next the next sign that you are going to implement in a mathematical expression. Then after off, you look for multiplication sign.
Sorry, Kuda.
Yes.
I think it's BODMAS, not BOMDAS.
Okay. Yeah. Let me clarify. All right. Let me clarify something on that. There are two schools of thought, right? There are some who say BODMAS. There are some who say BOMDAS. But if you implement, whether you use BOMDAS or BOMDAS or BOMDAS or BODMAS, you still get the same answer, because remember, it's only multiplication and division that you are swapping. So it's not much of a difference. You will see that the reason why I chose BOMDAS is last time when I was with some of the students, I think they are present now, there was a certain question paper that we were doing, and your lecturer asked you about the precedence of this operation. We came to find out that the correct answer, there was the one that had multiplication and division on the same, on the same expression. But we came to find out that the one that was used by your lecturer was BOMDAS instead of BODMAS. So yeah, Lungiles is confirming exactly. Lungiles is confirming. So the reason why I'm going with BOMDAS is because we have seen that there is a certain question that was asked that requires this type of this expression, right? But if you want to use, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The person who uses BOMDAS and the person who uses BODMAS, you still get the same answer. So it's correct. What you actually said was correct. But in case maybe they will ask you that similar question like the one that they did last time, stick to BOMDAS, because I think your lecturer is using BOMDAS. All right, so let's try to what? Let's try to work this thing out, right? So using BOMDAS, so multiplication is okay. Let me write this so that at least everyone can see. Okay, it's BOMDAS. All right, so we can see from this expression, the highest sign, that is the highest precedence, is multiplication, right? So we are going to evaluate these ones first, right? You can see addition and subtraction. When you have addition and subtraction, right, you have to attend to addition before you can attend to subtraction. Okay, thank you very much. 8 times 4 is 32. Thank you.
I was really
24
confused.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Sometimes this is mental maths. I'm not using a calculator, so sometimes mental maths can confuse a bit. But thank you very much for paying attention. All right, 24 is actually 8 by what? 8 by 3, right? So this is supposed to be 32. So now what the next expression is this one, right? Because this one is the one that is addition, according to what BOM does, right? So 12 plus what? Plus 32 gives us what? 44. Can someone verify? Is it really 44?
Yes, sir. It is 44.
All right, thank you very much. Right?
Yes.
Then the last one now, it's 44 minus what? 44 minus 6. I think this one gives us a 38, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's 3.
So the answer is B. Right.
Yeah.
So the answer there is B. All right. So let's go to 2, right? All right, let's see. Okay, so now we are told, so BOM does here again still applies. The only difference is there is what? This is a what? I don't know how to pronounce this. I think I might not even be able to write the correct name, but this is basically a fraction, right? Because remember, there's this line here in the middle. It just shows us that this is a fraction, but it's not a fraction per se, because you need to first express, right, these mathematical expressions, right, and then you will be left with what? You'll be left with a fraction. So for now, the numerator, let's evaluate the numerator first. So using both BOMDAS, we have to first evaluate this, right? Which will be 14 plus 11 by 2, which is 22, right? Divided by 9 minus 3, which is straightforward, which is 6, right? Then 14 plus 22, 14 plus 22, I think this is 36, right? Let me use my calculator. Plus 22, which is 36, which is 36 over 6. 36 over 6, I think this is 6, right? So the answer is D, right? Yes, the answer is D. Thank you very much. It looks like there are some students that are also doing this aside, which is actually good, because when I make a mistake, someone can quickly see. All right, number 3, which one of the following statements is true regarding a proper fraction? All right, so let me explain something. So there are 2 types of fractions, right? There is remember, all that I'm talking about here is in your study guide. I won't have time to refer back to your study guide, right? Because this is a crash program. So I have to squeeze everything within this small period of time. So what you need to understand is fractions, they are divided into 2. There's what they call a proper fraction, and there's what they call an improper fraction. So what is the difference between the 2? So let's take for an instance where we are saying we have got a fraction that is A over B. So this part, right, A is regarded to as the numerator, right? And then B is regarded to as the denominator. So when the numerator, which is the upper part, right, is greater than the denominator, then we say that the fraction is improper. When the numerator is greater, right, when A is greater than B, then the fraction is considered to be improper, right? But when A is less than B, right, like in this case, right, you can see that this is 25 over 3. This is an improper fraction because 25 is greater than 3. So the numerator is greater than the denominator. So that one becomes an improper. But in this case, like here, in this case where you have 7 over 12, where the numerator is less than the denominator, then they consider it as a proper fraction, right? So I wanted to explain this before we could go further. So let's see, there are some people who are writing answers there. Let's see if what they wrote is correct. All right, so which one of the following statement is true regarding a proper fraction? It cannot be negative. That is false. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. So this is the correct answer, right? Let's see. It can be written as a mixed fraction, which is not so. An improper fraction can also be, this is true, but it's not true for a proper fraction. C is true, but it's true for an improper fraction, because when they are saying it can be written as a mixed fraction, remember, let's take an instance of 23 over what? Over 25 over 3, right? 3 into 25, it gets what? It gets into 8.
Recording in progress.
So, sorry guys, I think maybe if it's okay with you guys, just mute your mic so that nothing can interfere with the lecture. All right. Okay, so now this 25 over 3 and 8 and a third, these are the same thing, right? This is an improper fraction, but this is what they call a mixed fraction. So the term mixed fraction is coming from the fact that 8 is a whole number, but a third is a fraction. So this is a mixed what? A mixed expression where there is a whole number and a fraction. That's why they call it what? A mixed fraction. But in this case, it does not apply because they are asking about a proper fraction. Then obviously D is what? D is it is what? It is false, right? So the answer is B, as some of these students have already. Okay, let me see what's happening here. All right, no, that's fine. So let's go to question number 4. All right, question number 4. All right, so 3 over what? So again here you use BOMDAS, right? So we start to evaluate the positive, the the expressions that are associated with the plus sign, right? So 3/8 plus 3/4. So when you are solving fraction, what you need to do is you find the common denominator, right, between the two. So this is 8 and 4. So the common denominator is 8, right? So 8 into 8, this is 3. 8 into 8 is 1. 1 times 3, you get 3, right? Then 4 into 8 is 2. Then 2 times 3 is what? It's 6, right? So 3 plus what? 3 plus 6, which is 9. So when you evaluate the positive sign, the resultant fraction that you get is what? Is 9/8. So what you can do, this now becomes 9/8 minus 7/12, right? So the common denominator there is what? Let's take 24, right? 8 into 24 is 3. 3 by 9 is what? It's 27, right? I hope I'm correct there. Then 12 into 24 is 2. 2 by 7, which is what? 14, right? So 27 minus 14 is 13. So you get what? 13/24. So that answer is not okay. 13/24. Okay, I was looking way for the next. So 13/24. So the answer is what? The answer is A. Okay, yeah, I can see a couple of guys there. They already written A. That's correct, guys. That's correct. Thank you very much. All right, so let's go to the next one. The next one now, again, you are going to use BOMDAS, sorry. You see, even myself, I'm confusing myself. So we are using BOMDAS. So we're going to what? So here, let me tell you something. I think here I can actually show you where it doesn't matter whether you use BOMDAS or BODMAS, right? Let me write this down first. I want to show you. Oh yes. Yeah, we are supposed to use BOMDAS, but I want to show you because there was one person who said we are supposed to use BODMAS. I want to show you that whether you use BODMAS or BOMDAS, you still get what? The same answer. So let's start by evaluating the multiplication first, right? So 5 by what? 5 by 4, which is 20. Then 12 by 15, you get what? 180. Right, so you get 180. So 180 is being divided by what? By 4/9. So the rule of it is when two fractions are dividing each other, right? When two fractions are dividing each other, what you need to understand is this term on the right, this one in a square, you have to flip it. You change the sign, right? You say 20/180. So when you flip this, right? Because remember we're saying 20/180 divided by 4/9, right? But mathematically you can't do anything when it's in that state, right? So for us to be able to do a numeric operation, right? When we have a division of two fractions, you have to flip the fraction that is on the right side. When you flip it like this, when you flip it like 9/4, then you change the sign. The sign changes from division to multiplication. I'm hoping that nobody lost. I lost nobody. I'm saying I'm hoping that I didn't lose some of the people here. So you need to understand that you just have to flip this, right? So 4 into 20, this is 5. Then 9 into 120 is what? This is 20, right? So the answer will be 5/20. But as you can see, we don't have 5/20 there, right? Do we have 5/20? We don't have 5/20 because remember 5/20, this is a fraction, but it's a fraction that is not in its simplest form, right? So a fraction that is in its simplest form, it means that one of the two, either the numerator or the denominator, must not be Exactly. Someone is saying, should you cross cancel? Exactly. So here you cross cancel to reduce this fraction to its simplest form, right? So what you do is you say 5 into 5 is 1, then 5 into 20 is what? It's 4. So then you get what? A quarter. Right? So that is C, just as the other guys had managed to highlight earlier on. So like I'm saying, these are the things that are in your study guide, right? If you go back, you just see you just see it. All right, so let's continue, right? Let's continue. 6. So 28% expressed as a simplified fraction. Right. So that's where the issue of the reducing a fraction in its lowest form comes into play. All right. So whenever you see like a number and with these two things, a percentage sign, it means that you can write that number, right, as a fraction, but it is a fraction that is it will be divided by what? Divided by 100. So if they say 28%, it just means 28 divided by 100. If they say 50%, it means that it's 50% divided by 100. So what you need to understand is, I know that there's someone who already wrote A, right? A to a certain extent, right? It's what? It's correct. Let me not say it's correct, but it's partially correct. It's not correct, it's partially correct. Why am I saying so? The question says expressed in simplified fraction. In other words, they're saying in fraction that in its simplest form. So 28 over 100 is correct, but it's not correct if they say in simplified fraction. So you need to simplify 28 over 100, because you can see that 2 can get into what? 2 can get, let's start by using, we can go straight to 4, right? 4, because remember 4 can get into 28, right? So 24 into 28 is 7, then 4 into what? Into 100 is what? Is 25. So the answer there will be 7 over what? 7 over 25. So what you need to understand, if it is maths that involve wording within it, pay particular attention to what they are asking you. Because remember, here the keyword was simplified fraction. So a person who had written down 28 over 100, they are correct, but based on what they are asking, they will be penalized, because that's not the fraction in its simplest form. All right, so let's see number 7. A store is having 25% discount on all items. A shirt costs 150. What is the original price? All right, so this amount, right? This amount is the discounted, right? Because a shirt costs 150. So we have bought this shirt after there was what? There was what do you call it? An amount of what? Of 25% that have been removed. So what you can do mathematically, what you can do is you can just say 25%, right? Times X, let's say, just say Y, right? Multiplied by Y must give you what? 150, right? So basically, if you just simplify this, right? This becomes 150, right? Multiplied by 100 over 25, right? So this must give you, right? Let's see, 150 by.
Sorry, sir.
All right. Yes.
I am wrong if I'm saying 25%. You see the 25% that has have been given on the question.
Sorry, the 25%.
Yes. If I'm saying 25% plus 100, that will be 125.
Yes.
Then divide by 100, it's gonna be 1,25.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then multiply by the cost price.
The cost price.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. Because because you can just say 1.25 multiplied by 150, right? It gives you
Yes.
the original amount, right?
Yes.
Was what I was going to say that maybe is a second option. Right? Let's just use the one that you are saying, right? So we are saying we have 25%, right? We have 25% that have been subtracted, right, from an original price, right, in order for us to get 100 and what 150.
150.
Yes. So our 100% in this case it will be what 150, right? But we want to add that 25% that we have removed to 150.
150, okay.
To get the original price. So that's when you say 100 plus the 0.25 to get
Yes.
1.25 multiplied by what?
150.
Yes. So which is 150 by 1.25? That gives you 187.5. Yes. So the one that the one that I was using was the longer one, where you are now using expression.
The shortest one.
I can't say it's the shortest one. This one is the shortest one, but it may be. The reason I was trying to avoid this is some people might not understand where the 1.25 is coming from.
Oh, okay.
Because here they are asking about 25%, right? So one might ask, okay, they are asking about 25%, but where is the 1.25 coming from? Which means now we're talking about 125%. You see?
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes this method, some people might not get this. This is okay. Let me just check something here before I write that down. All right. So we are saying.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can we please go back to the first one that you were explaining first, please?
The first one.
Yeah, the first one that you were explaining before.
Before I wrote this one, right?
Yes, you were in the middle of the first one. Then my colleague tried to come with this one, with the second one. Then you attended him. So I was going to ask you, go to the first one, please.
Oh, okay. All right. No, that's fine. Let me go to the first one that I was trying to explain. Right?
Yes, please, sir.
All right. No, that's fine. So we are saying that there is an original price, right? Which is let's just say Y, right? This is Y. Then we are saying Y multiplied by 0.25, right? If we apply 25% to that price, we must get what? We must get, let me see. But this one, I think this one might be wrong, because if we say we get to 150, right? The answer that we're getting is 600. Let me see. Let me just double check here something. All right, what I can do for now, let me just skip this one, right? Let me just skip this one for a little while, Was there something that I'm thinking that if the method that I'm trying to use there is not giving this the right answer, what I'm going to do is I'll come back to it. I'll just come back to it, then I'll see where I'm trying to lose something there. But for now, let's just stick to the one that is saying 1.25 multiplied by what? Multiplied by 150. I'll come back to it. Just remind me when I'm done with the questions that I'll come back to question number 7.
But C can't be right.
Sorry?
C. Can C be right? Should it not be
Yes,
D?
I say,
Yes.
where did you get to 1.25?
1.25.
Yes.
Yes, we are saying 1.25. We are saying that 100%, right? 100%. We are saying there's a. Let me see. We are saying that there is a shirt that is costing for 150.
I can't hear you properly. What did you say?
There is a shirt that is costing 150. You buy the shirt for 150 rand, right? But then
Yeah.
that is not the original price. That is not the
Okay.
original price. The original price is a bit higher than 150 rand.
Yeah.
Right? So what we are saying, let me just write as an expression here. Original price, OG price, right? Multiplied by discount. Discount must give you this amount.
So you're saying 150 multiplied by 25%.
No, you can't say 150 multiplied by 25%, right? Because it means now that you are saying that 150, you are applying 25% to 150, which is not what you are asked here. We are saying that this is the selling price, right? This is the selling price. So the selling price, the one that you buy with, is 150, right? But the discount that we got is 0.25, right? But the original, we are looking for this price here.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm saying? You are looking for this price, right? So there's one who's saying the answer is 200.
Okay,
All
can
right.
I just quickly say something how I got to 187.50?
Yes.
So how I did it was 150 times 0.25. And then I got 37.5. And then I added 37.5 to the 150.
Yes.
That's how
yes.
I got the discount,
The discount.
some amount. So then I added it to whatever the shirt costs currently now.
Oh, all right.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
All right. So this other person is saying they multiplied 150 by what? By 0.25. Yes. And then they got 37.5. And then they added 37.5 to what? To 150. And then they got 187.5, which is also correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think I was mixing up. There's something that I was mixing up here. So thank you very much for clarifying that. All right. We're saying why not D? D can't be. D is not correct. D is not correct. All right. This looks like there's two people with good questions. Yes, Nati and Savannah.
No, D is the answer.
D is the answer.
Hi. Yeah, 25% of 200 is 150 rands.
Yes, 25% of 200
is 150 rands.
So
All right.
the answer is D.
All right.
Hello?
Okay, guys.
I'm with you.
All right. Okay, guys. Just okay. Let's. For now, let me just skip this, right? For the sake of
Hello?
time. Then we'll come back to it. Yes.
I think D is correct.
Hello? Hi, I've got my hand up and I'm waiting to speak.
Okay. Yes.
Can I explain the way I got to the answer? And I got D as well. It was subtract the discount from 100, and then you multiply the final price by 100, and then you divide the percentage that you got in step 1 by the answer that you got in step 2, which comes to 200. So it's 100 minus 25, which gives you 75. And then it's 150 times 100, which gives you 1,500. And then you take those two and you divide it, and that gives you the final answer, which is 200.
Oh, okay. No, all right. Okay, no, it's okay, guys. We'll come back to it, because I'm seeing that there are two schools of thought. There's something that I'm just overlooking. I'll come back to it. Let's just keep it for now.
So I'm saying, sorry,
Hello?
sorry. Yes, so I'm saying, sorry about that. I'm saying 150 times 100 divided by 75.
Okay,
But why
guys.
would you use 75? Nowhere in the question speaks about 75.
Okay.
Because
all right,
you're
guys.
looking for what 75 is.
25 is 75.
Oh, okay, guys. Hello.
Go ahead, sir, please.
Hello, sir.
If we continue like this, we won't remember there's another lecture, right? That's coming up.
The time is going. Continue.
Yes. So what we are going to do later on, right? We'll go back to the study guide.
Yes.
If this is giving us problems, right? Because remember,
Yes.
these things are in the study guide. So we can't just wait on here, because we remember we need to finish this. It happens in maths, right? That's why it's a multiple choice. They have various answers. They know that each and every person will get what? Will get an answer. So let's just skip this for a little while. We're not leaving it. Let's just skip it, come back to it after we have revisited the study guide, right? So for now, let's just skip to number 8, so that at least we don't waste time on something. All right. So let's go to number 8. Right? Okay, so 12 donuts cost 90 rand, right? How much more will 4 donuts cost? So basically the concept that is being talked about here is what is proportion, right? There's something called what? There's something called proportion. So they are saying 12. Remember, there are many ways of killing a cat, right? So someone might have a different approach to solve this this mathematical expression, which is still correct, right? So we are saying that 14 donuts, right? They cost what? They cost 90 rands, right? What about 4? So it means that they're going to cost what? Less. Right? So what you need to do is you just say when the amount that you are looking for is less than the one that you are given, you then say this value, right? Which is 4 over the one that is on top, which is 12. Then you multiply it by 90. Right? So when you do that, 4 divided by 12 by what? By 90, then you get what? You get 30, which is A, which is correct, right? Which is correct. It looks like some other people they did that correctly. All right. So let's go to question 9. Right? Question 9. Ken and Rose invest 20,000 and invest 120,000 and 300,000 respectively in a business. They agree to distribute the profits made in the same ratio as their investment. So the simplified ratio of their investment is, so what you need to do in this case, So Ken is contributing 120,000, right? Then Rose is investing 300,000. So all in all, let's come to find out how much do they have, right? How much do they have all in all, right? Okay. So some people are saying it's what? It's D. Okay. All right. So what we need to do is we just say 120, right? $120 plus 300,000, right? Then let's see here. If we add these two, then we get what? 420,000. Okay. Then we need to find the ratio, the simplified ratio of which of their investment. So let me just double check something here. All right. So what you have to do is you just have to divide these two, right? You just have to divide this what this two, because there's two. Okay, let me just wrap this. What is on the screen there? So it has to be 120,000 over 300,000, right? So what we need to remember, right? Because remember here, there's on the left side, there's the initials. Then on the right side, there's what? The ratio, right? So this initial, right, it corresponds, this number corresponds to what? To K, and this number corresponds to Rose, right? So when you divide this, you get what? 2 over 5, right? When not to divide per se, yeah. When you get the ratio, it will be what? It will be 2 over 5. So I can see from the answer, some are saying B, some are saying what? Are saying D. Both of you, you see, you can see that is 2 and 5, but where some are missing it is because of the what? Of the orientation of these letters. 2 is corresponding to K, and 5 is corresponding to R. So K S to R is corresponding to 2S to 5. Okay, there's someone who's saying I'm so confused. All right, let me try to start it from afresh, right? We are saying that there is Ken, right? Ken is contributing 120,000 rands, right? Then Rose is contributing what? Is contributing 300,000, right? So just to see the ratio of their investments, right? When we just divide this, right? Because remember this column there is just representing this thing here, right? So when you simplify this in the simplest fraction, you get 2 over 5. So where the confusion is, K is not corresponding to 5. K is corresponding to 2. Because can you see that K is the numerator and 2 is the numerator. So K is equals to 2 and R is equals to what? It's equals to 5. So the answer there is what? Is D. Right? All right. So let's okay, someone saying, what did you divide to get 2.5? What we did here is we simplified this, right? We simplified this in its simplest form, this fraction in its simplest form. Because as you can see, here we can divide by 100,000 it's not under, yeah, it's here we can divide, right? Let me just take you through the steps. Here you can divide by 100, what? 100,000. If you divide this by 100,000, these zeros, they go, right? These 4 zeros, and you're left with what? 12 over 30, right? And then when you simplify, because remember, this fraction is also not in its simplest form. If you want to simplify this further, you divide this by 6, you get 2. You divide this by 6, you get 5. That's how we got 2 over 5. Okay, that's fine. So it means that you got it now. All right, no, that's okay. So let's of 490, how much does Ken get? Remember Ken is the one who's getting what? Ken is getting okay, if I'm using my calculator, I got 0.4. 0.4 I think is 2 over 5, if I'm not mistaken. It's 2, but that if you use the decimal, it will confuse you, boys. If you can see that on question number 9, there are no decimals there, right? Oh no, no, I think, let me just double check. Let me see. Yeah, it's 0.4, but 0.4 is what? Is 2.5 in its simplest form. It's 2.5, 2 over 5 in its simplest form. Okay, in this case, now if the business makes a profit of 490,000, how much does Ken get? Right? So what we need to do now is, Ken, we know that his ratio is going to be what? Ken will be, you will get 2 over 5 of the investment, right? So if we multiply this, right, 490 by right, you get what? You get all right. No, if the business makes a profit of 490, right? So the business made a profit of what? Of 490. So when you say 2/5 of this, what, of 490, then you get what? 196, which is C, right? Which is C. Okay. Right. Now we are getting where it's getting interesting.
Evasion. 1 minute, please.
Hello. Is there someone who has a question? Oh, okay. All right. So here now we are getting to where there are these.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead. Oh, okay. There's no question. All right. So now let's get to this expression, all right? Let's get to this.
Say, I have a question.
All right. Yeah, you can go ahead. I was waiting for you to say something.
For number 10, did you say 2 over 5 times 490?
No, Ish, I think let me.
Hi, sir.
Sorry, just wait
Sorry.
a little bit.
Number 10.
Yeah. I just want. No, the answer is B. Sorry.
It's B. It's B. Yes.
Yeah, it's B.
The answer is B. Correct.
Yeah, it's B. Let me just go back to it, because this guys.
How do you get B? Please go back.
Yeah, I want to explain. Yes, I want to explain. Thank you very much, guys, for bringing that to my attention. Right, we are saying that the ratio is 2:5, right? But when you combine these, when you add this 2 and 5, you get what? You get 7, right? Then you just say 2 over what? Over 7 by 490. Then you get what? you get B. Thank you very much. I overlooked that one. Yes, it's actually B. So it's 2 over 7 because remember, the Ken is supposed to get 2. Then Rose is supposed to get 5. But when you combine them, they give a total of 7. So Ken is going to get 2 out of 7. Then Rose is going to get 5 out of 7. When you add the 2, 5 plus 2, then you get what? Then you get 7. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So let's get to what? To these mathematical expressions, right? 6x squared plus 5y squared minus 13z squared minus y squared minus 6x squared. Now the question is saying, write this expression in its simplified state, right? When you go back to what? When you go back to your study guide, you come to find out that when you have an expression like this, you have to group this into what they call like terms, right? Like terms. So what you need to do now is you have to identify which terms have got like, what do you call it? These like letters, right? You group them together with their signs. So you come to find out that we've got x squared, then we've got y squared, and then we've got what? We've got z. So if we group x squared together, right? First, you get 6x squared, then minus 6x squared, right? Then plus 5y squared minus y squared, then minus 13z squared, right? So when you simplify this, 6x squared minus 6x squared, you get what? You get a 0. Then 5y squared minus y squared.
I'm studying.
Okay. Can you please mute your mics? Then 5y squared minus y squared, right? Then you get 4y squared, right? Then minus 13z squared. So the answer there is, because remember this 0 plus, you can just ignore it, right? So it will be like 4y squared minus 13z squared. All right. I want to make sure that I haven't lost anyone here, because I know these expressions can be a little bit tricky, right? So the answer is C, but I'm hoping that everyone got what we did. The principle is you just group like terms together, identify the like terms, right? Like in this case, we've got x squared, we've got y squared, we've got z squared. So you've got to group x squared together. You've got to group y squared together. You've got to group z squared together. Then you simplify them according to their grouping. That would be how you simplify that whole expression, right? So I want to believe now that is a little bit clear, right? Now let's look at the next one. Here now it's expanding the brackets, right? You are given two expressions, right? And they are multiplying each other. So what you need to do, right? According to your study guide, right? They say that if each element, right? Each element must be able to multiply with each element. Each element of each expression, right, must be able to multiply with the other elements of the other expression, right? Like in this case, this 4 must multiply with this and this, and then this again must multiply with this and this. So the easiest way that you can simplify this, right? You can say 4e, which is this first part of the first expression, right? Multiplied by the second expression, minus e minus 2u, right? Then you incorporate the second expression. The second expression, remember, it's plus 6u. Then you say plus 6u multiplied by negative e minus 2u. So the concept is each term of the expression must multiply each term of the second expression, right? Each term of the first expression must multiply each term of the second expression. So the easiest way for you to do that, to make sure that you have done that, is to rewrite it like this, because this 4e will multiply both this first term and second term. This second term of the first expression will multiply again the first term and the second term of the second expression. So that is the easiest way for you to expand this. They call it expanding the bracket. So 4e multiplied by minus e is what? Minus 4e squared. Because remember, e is being multiplied twice, right? So when you multiply an unknown number, what? Twice, you get what? Squared, right? Then minus 4e multiplied by minus 2 u, then you get negative 8 eu, right? Plus, then 6u multiplied by what? Multiplied by negative e, then this one now becomes negative 6eu, right? Then 6u multiplied by negative what? By negative 2u, then you get negative what? 12u squared. So let me just remove this this bracket there. It's not supposed to be there, right? All right. So so now this one is already like this one and this one. There's no need for grouping, right? This one they are already grouped. Let's just simplify. So this plus we can ignore it. So we can say negative 8 eu, negative 6 eu. So now some people might get confused, right? Some people might get confused because remember, this is negative 8 eu, negative 6 eu, right? According to your study guide, right? If there are two expressions, if there are two terms, right, that are subtracting each other, you just add them and then put a negative sign before, right? Like in this case, negative 8, negative 6. You just add these two, which is 8 plus 6. That gives you what? 14. But then it will be negative what? It will be negative 14. So that is what? That is the final expression. So according to what we have been given there, the answer is what? The answer is A, right? So you need to pay particular attention to the sign because remember, can you see that D is almost similar, but it's only that the last part, the last term is what? Is plus. So you just have to make sure that you what? You pay particular attention to, all right. To that. All right, so number 13, a quarter of 2x plus 4y squared, you need to simplify that, right? So what you need to do right here is,
sorry.
Okay, what you need, yes?
Can you go back to the answers? So I check it's answered, A and D are the same.
No, they're not the same.
A and D.
They're not the same.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not the same. Can you see here? What A and what A and B? No, A and B is not, they're not the same. Unless you're saying A and B. A and B, they're not the same. Even A and D is not the same because remember, this one there's a negative here, there's a positive. But the correct answer is A.
Okay, no, sorry.
All right, no, that's fine. So let's try to simplify this, right? Let's try to simplify 2x plus 4y. What? So this one, it has to be squared. So the simplest way to square, I'm just going to show you the shortcut, right? Of squaring things. What you need to do when you're squaring things, you can do the longer way where you are saying 2x plus y. Can you please maybe just mute yourself, please?
Weirdo.
All right. So what you can do, remember when you are squaring, you're just repeating the multiplication, right? So what you can do the longer way, right? Where you can say 2x multiplied by 2x plus y multiplied by 2x plus y. But there's a simpler way of this, right? Where you can just say this, you can just square this, right? When you can just say 2x squared, which gives you 4x squared, right? Plus, then you just say 2 by 1 by 2, right? Which gives you 4xy plus y squared. So this is
sorry, it's supposed to be 2x plus 4y, not 2x plus y.
Plus 4y. All right, thank you very much. I didn't see that. Thank you. Okay, so let me. Oh, I had left a 4 there. Thank you very much. All right. So this one becomes what? 4x squared. 2 times 4, which is what? 8 by 2, which is what? 16, right? So this becomes 16xy, right? Then this one becomes, it has to be 4, right? 4y squared. So this becomes 16y squared. But if we divide here by what? By 4, right? If we divide everything by 4, this can be x squared plus 4xy plus 4y squared. So the answer there is what? Is D, right? It's D. So remember, guys, here I just did a shortcut. You can do this, you can do the longer way. Because of time, I can't do where I can say 2x multiplied by this individually, because it's another method. You can just go check, you get the same answer. But the easiest way for you, like the one that I was showing you, you first square, right? The first term, right? Which is 4x squared, because 2 squared is 4, x squared is what? Is 4. Then for the middle term, you say this 2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 2. So you say this 2 multiplied by the coefficient of y multiplied by the coefficient of x, right? Then you get 16, right? And then for the last term, you just square it, 4y squared, which is 16y squared. So that's how I got what? I got the answer. So the answer there is, the answer is D.
Sorry, would that work if it was 3 instead of a square? If it was a cube root? Sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much for bringing that up. It only applies when it's square. It only applies if it is squared. When it now becomes cubed to the power 3 or to the power 4, then it doesn't work, right?
Okay.
It's only a shortcut that is used when you only have a square only. So thank you very much for bringing that up, because most people would have thought that you use it maybe if there's another power which is not 2. It only applies when the power is 2. Someone is saying don't do shortcuts. All right, let me just give you okay, what you're supposed to do here. So okay. So what you need to do is what you need to do the longer way of it, right? You say 2x plus 4y, right? 2x plus what? Plus 4y. So what you need to do, the longer way of it, is then you say 2x plus 4y plus 4y multiplied by 2x plus 4y, right? So if you simplify this, whole thing, right, you get what? You get what do you call it? You get when you simplify this, you get 4y squared plus 16xy plus what? Plus 16y squared. But remember, there's a quarter here. This quarter. That's when we divide by 4. Did you get it? The one was asking, don't do shortcut. I was just doing just a shortcut. You know, these shortcuts sometimes they are good for you because remember you are doing what? You are doing an exam, right? You don't have the whole time. That's why sometimes I'm showing you these shortcuts. You don't have the whole time, right? You can do them just to make sure that it's fine. But remember, this is an exam. You are rating it limited time. So I wanted to give it. I just wanted to show people so that it can come in handy for those who want to preserve time. Okay, let me just continue. Okay, number 14. All right, number 14, solve for x in the following equation. 2x minus 5. Yeah, this is where it's getting a little bit interesting, right? 2x minus 5 is equal to 7x plus 25. So the first rule, thumb of rule, right? Okay, rule thumb, whatever it is. What you need to understand is group like terms together, right? But if there is an equal sign, when you want to group like terms together, when there is an equal sign, right? When something crosses over the equal sign, it changes the sign, right? So let me try to explain this while I tackle this expression. So we are saying 2x minus 5 is equals to 7x plus 25, right? So we want to group like terms together. So this must come over this side, right? And this must go over that side, because the one with the x's must be grouped together and the constants must be grouped together. But remember, I said when anything is crossing over the equal sign, it must change the sign, right? So 2x minus 7, because in this case 7 was positive, right? So it changes sign to negative, right? To negative 7x. And then this negative 5, when it crosses over the equal sign, it changes again the sign. So this becomes 5 plus 25. So what happens is 2x minus 7x, this one is smaller than this, right? So when they subtract each other, then it becomes a negative, right? Negative 5x. 5 plus 25, which is what? Which is 30. So negative 5 there, negative 5 there, this they cancel, right? So x is equals to 30 divided by negative 5. This gives you negative 6, right? So the answer there is A, just like Lungile said it. I think Lungile and the other one, yeah, they got that correct, right? So the rule of thumb that you need to understand, whenever something crosses over the equal sign, it changes its sign. That's what you need to understand. That's what they're trying to examine you, what they're trying to get from you there. They want to see whether you understand that when something crosses over, when a term crosses over the equal sign, do you know that it changes what? It changes its sign. So basically that's what they were trying to see from you guys. Okay, 15. Solve for k in the following equation, right? 2k plus 5 is over 3 is equals to what? Is equals to 7. So what you need to do there, you can just say 2k plus 5 over 3, right? Is equals to what? Is equals to 7. So what you need to do there, you can just do what you call cross multiplication, right? Where you can just say this 3 multiply by 7, right? Multiply by 7, and then you just get 2k plus 5 is equals to what? It's equals to 21, right? So when you get this now, you have, remember, this and this cannot add each other because they're different terms. So this is a constant. It has to cross over. It has to cross over the what? It has to cross over the equal sign. So it has to change its sign. So it will be 2k is equals to 21 minus 5. Then 2k is equals to 21 minus 5. You get 16. Then k is equals to what? K is equals to 8. So the answer is C. Yes, there are a couple of people who say the answer is C. All right. So okay. Okay, it looks like there's someone who's got all right, so guys, we are left with 5 minutes. All right, so there's someone who's got a question. I think all right, so I think the other ones, those ones are just basic all right, let me just deal with these ones that have got that have what we call it the expression. Then I leave time to James, right? So okay, before I continue, there's someone who's you can ask a question. It's Noku.
Hi.
Yeah.
Nokubonga. The question that had the answer that's -5, I just wanted to find out, since the answer jumped from the other side of the bracket to the right, isn't it supposed to be +5? Yes, that one.
Yeah, it's +5. Yes. When you cross it over, it crosses over here, it becomes +5. Then it becomes that.
Because I thought when you were dividing, you wrote -5. So it was 30 over -5.
No, the -5 that I was dividing it is not this one.
Oh, okay.
Let me just clarify a little bit there, right? So what happened now, we're saying it became 2x, right? Minus 7x is equals to 5 plus 25, right? Which is 30.
Agreed. Yes.
Right? So this is now a new expression on its own, right? So what you do is you say 2 minus 5. 2 minus 5 according to mathematics, when a smaller number is subtracting a larger number, then it becomes the resultant will be negative.
Yes.
So it's more like 7 minus 2, which is 5, but it will be -5.
-5.
So that's
and
the
then
-5. That's the -5.
And then when it jumps over, it's a +5. So it's 30 divided by a +5.
No, in this case, the jumping over, here we are dividing. It's not more like it's jumping over. Here we are cross-canceling. They call it cross-canceling, yes. So we are cross-canceling. We only want to remain with x only. So we are saying only to remain with x, we have to divide, we have to remove this -5. So to remove this -5, we divide by -5 on both sides, so that here it can be 1.
Okay.
Yes, so this one is cross-canceling. It's not the migrating of the terms, that like what we were saying here.
Okay, I understand.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm only left, guys, with 2 minutes. So let me just explain just a trick for spontaneous equation, right? Sorry, a trick for spontaneous equation. So what you need to do when you're given spontaneous equation, right? There's what they call elimination, right? So elimination, what you need to do is you have to come up. You just have to come up with the reason why it's called elimination. You want to eliminate one of these two unknown terms so that you'll be able to find the other one, right? So in this case, let's say we want to eliminate this x, right? For us to eliminate x, we have to make sure that the coefficients of these two x's, they are the same, so that they can subtract each other, right? Like in this case, here there's 3x, here there's 2x. So for us to make these two terms the same, right? Here we have to multiply with 2 to make it 6x. Here we have to multiply with 3 to make it 6x. So that this 6x minus 6x, we can eliminate this. That's why it's called elimination, right? It's question, yeah, it's question, what is question 16 answer? That's the one that we are working, right? If x is made the subject of the formula in the equation 2, then all right. So they want us to calculate the subject of the formula first, right? In question 16 before we eliminate it, right? So in equation 2, this is the equation 2, right? So equation 2 is 2x plus 6y is equals to 50, right? So when you want to make x the subject of the formula, what you do is you need to migrate this term over the question, over the equal sign, right? So it has to change the value. It has to change the sign. So it will be 2x is equals to 50 minus 6y. But remember, we want only to be left by x only. So here we divide by 2, here we divide by 2. So this becomes x is equals to 25 minus 3y. So the answer is B, right? The answer is B. All right, guys. Elimination. I wanted to show you elimination, but because of time. All right. So because of time, I'll just leave this time to James so that at least he can talk to you. At least I just wanted you just to see how some of these things are done. So thank you very much for your time. If you have any issues, you can just talk to James. Thank you very much for your all right. Over to you, James.
Okay, thank you. All right, would like to thank Mr. Svanda for taking us through the business mathematics lecture. I hope it was beneficial to you guys. I think it was also beneficial to me. So what we want to do is we want to go into the economics lecture, but before